Afternoon, sir.
Come, good afternoon. Come, sit down.
Thank you, sir.
You're Ms. Garima Jain,
Yes, sir.
and you're a resident of Delhi.
Yes, sir.
So we had the elections in Delhi, and the results came out yesterday,
Yes, sir.
and Delhi has voted for change. Which monuments in Delhi are you familiar with?
Sir, I visited the Safdarjung tomb. I visited Akshardham temple. Also India Gate. So these are some of the.
Mehrauli,
Yes, sir.
Humayun's tomb.
Yes, sir. I've been to them.
For some time, Delhi was the capital. Then Agra becomes the capital, and then again Delhi becomes the capital. Why do you think they were shifting between Delhi and Agra?
Sorry, sir. I'm not aware. Sir, it happened. So if I can just say something. Sir, it happened during Mughal Emperor Akbar's rule, but I'm not aware of the exact reason why.
You're interested in Egyptian history.
Yes, sir.
What is it in Egyptian history that interests you the most?
So their civilization, their way of living, and sir, the practices that they had, which differed so widely from ours.
What is the difference?
So firstly, they had these huge monuments like the pyramids, and there are many solar temples and temples dedicated to pharaohs. At that time, contemporary Indian civilization did not have any such large monuments. So theirs was a society that was primarily dependent on the Nile. Ours was mostly dependent on trade.
Sorry?
Ours was mostly dependent on trade, the urban IVC.
Raid.
Trade.
Trade. Yeah, you're talking about the IVC, meaning the Indus Valley civilization. Yeah. But I thought the Indus Valley civilization had a number of structures. It had the citadel, it had the Great Bath, it had a number of structures. You can't say that the Indus Valley civilization was without structures.
Yes, sir, it had structures, but they were not on the scale as the ancient Egyptians had.
But I think the Indus Valley civilization was probably more people oriented, whereas the pyramids were more for the kings. The common people, there were no structures for the common people. But the Indus Valley civilization had more structures for the people. The Great Bath or the granary or the citadel, these were all structures for the people. So don't you think ours was more democratic and it should be more interesting?
Yes, sir. So ours was a more egalitarian society in that sense, while ancient Egyptian, it was an imperialist society where pharaohs were considered gods.
Okay, let's look at the periods. Which period are you talking about when you talk about the best part of Egyptian history, the early civilizations?
So that was during Sir Tutankhamun's dynasty. That was dynasty 18 and 19.
80?
Dynasty 18, 18 and 19.
Century? Which century?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of the century.
Subsequently, Egypt came under the control of the Romans. Can you tell me when?
So that happened around 70, 80 BC.
And who was then the queen of Egypt?
Yes, so that was Cleopatra.
And finally, the Romans took over Egypt and they ruled Egypt for almost 6 centuries. Till who came after them?
Sir, after that, sorry, sir, I'm not exact. I cannot recall right now.
Just think. Who would have come?
So there was this Arabian invasion into Egypt.
Correct. You're right. Now, since you're interested in joining the civil services and you indicated your preference as, I think, number 1 IAS, number 2 IPS, and number 3 customs. Yeah. Can you tell me what is the GST collection of the central government per month? Average?
So that it is over 1.7, 1.8 lakh crores.
And what does the government of India do with that? Does it devolve a part of it to the states, or is it entirely kept to the government of India?
So GST, so in GST, a part of it is devolved to the state, and so we have this GST compensation fund also.
But there is something called a cess, and when a cess is levied, it is not shared with the states. Why? Why is this differentiation between a cess and a tax?
Sir, sorry, sir, I am not aware why there is a differentiation.
Now, you also see in the income tax slabs the recent revisions that have been made. It's been hailed as a revolution. In this, suppose somebody has an income of say 20 lakhs or 25 lakhs. Does he or she have to pay income tax for the first 12 lakhs?
So for the first 12 lakhs, so they don't have to pay, and after that the remaining income is that is.
Are you sure about it? Okay. Now, there was also a reduction in corporation tax some time back. Are you aware of that? When corporation tax was reduced in India?
Sir, that time I did read it in the news once, but I am not aware of the exact numbers.
Okay. Why do you think anybody would reduce corporation tax?
So that is to promote investment in our country and promote ease of doing business, so that corporates so that we get more foreign investment, we set up more industries in our country to promote the Make in India initiative.
Somebody else is also talking about reducing corporate taxes now in the world. Who is that?
Sir, the US.
US. Now that is, the US wants to have more investment in US and thereby more employment for Americans, and therefore they want to impose more tariffs on goods coming from other countries, and they also want to reduce immigration. Now they also moved out of the Paris Agreement. What has that got to do with all this?
So that is because of US President Donald Trump's perceived notion of climate change being a hoax. So they contribute a lot. The US as such, it contributes a lot to these international climate change organizations, and if the ideology of the top leadership is such that climate change is a hoax and it's not real, then of course they would want to pull out of such organizations.
You don't think there's no logic attached to it? There's also a logic attached to it.
Okay, sir, so I'm not aware.
The logic is that in case you produce more in America, the emissions would go up. So if the emissions go up again, you will be violating the Paris Agreement. So if you come out of the agreement, then you are not bound by any obligation.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So Garima, cheetahs have been brought to India and say put in some places. Now, do you think it is a good move?
So the Indian subcontinent had cheetahs in the past, and they went extinct due to excessive poaching and killing. Sir, cheetahs are also a keystone species. So sir, it is vital that we promote, like we had this cheetah reintroduction campaign from many African nations. So sir, I think that it is a good move.
Mm-hmm. But those cheetahs had a different environment. Don't you think environment in our country is different?
Yes, sir. So to some extent it is different, because they were in the savanna regions of Africa, and India, like right now they are in Kuno. So of course there are certain environmental variations, but then we have this acclimatization period for the cheetahs. So
do you think casualty figures are very high among cheetahs?
So initially when we reintroduced cheetahs, there were a lot of casualties, primarily because of the neck collar that they had. So during rains it was not removed, and they got maggot infestations. And then there were also fights and aggressive mating, due to which many females died.
There is a branch of study called entomology.
Yes, sir.
Heard about it?
Yes.
Is it part of zoology or not?
Yes, sir. It is a part of zoology. So it is the study of insects.
Study of insects. Then why there should be a branch of with a different name? It can continue with zoology.
Sir, zoology encompasses a wide variety of animals, and because we have such a wide variation of fauna, so certain zoologists, we have this.
What is the definition that some living being is insect? What is special for insect?
Sir, insects, they have wings, and they have 3 pairs of appendages.
They have 3
pairs of appendages. So that is why they are classified into this category.
One is 3 pair. What is the other thing you told?
So wings, a pair of wings.
Very good. Ladies have done well in the Indian police service. Do you have any role model there?
Sir, one was IPS Durga, and so she played a big role in eliminating Naxalism in some regions. So she is one of my role models, and also IPS Sanjukta Parashar.
Very good. So, do you know why they are you can imbibe some qualities from them? Say Sangeeta. What is so important about her?
So in a woman, it is very important to be bold. And so being a woman myself and living in Delhi, I have realized this, that boldness is very important, not just for myself but also for empowering other women that are around me and to show them the way to become role models for little girls myself.
The boldness is one. Anything else which you can learn from them?
Courage. So courage to wipe out, so to take a very strong stand against Naxalites and corrupt elements.
Very good. New law replacing the IPC, CRPC and Evidence Act. What they are named?
So BNS, which is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita.
Nyaya Samhita. And replaces what?
So it replaces the IPC. So Evidence Act is replaced by Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam, and Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita replaces CRPC.
Do you think they have been named properly? The name is okay? Does it convey that sense what it contains? Bharatiya, some BN something? Bharatiya, what is that?
Nyaya Sanhita.
Nyaya Sanhita.
Yes, sir. So Nyaya denotes justice, and so the use of, so BNS, sir, it helps us move away from our colonial legacy and move towards Indian-made laws and that are for Indians, and so that we can relate to them better.
And this CRPC?
So Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita.
Nagrik Suraksha. Does it talk about Suraksha at all?
Yes, sir.
How come?
Sir, we have this incident, we have this provision of zero FIR that can now be filed, and so there is also this punishment of life imprisonment and so capital punishment in case of rape. So those are very good motives.
Thank you, Garima.
Garima, you have studied zoology, and you belong to Jain philosophy, right? What are the main features of Jain philosophy?
Sir, we have ahimsa, which is non-violence. Then we have satya, which is truth. Brahmacharya, which is celibacy. And so we have aparigraha, which is non-accumulation of material goods.
First one you said was?
Sir, non-violence, ahimsa.
Right. But in zoology, when you do practicals, you dissect animals. How does it go with your philosophy or your religion?
Sir, to a very large extent, dissections have been banned because of animal cruelty and other reasons. But sir, yes, I think that for research purposes, when research is for a higher motive, so dissections are very necessary, and mostly they are done so that the animal experiences as little pain as possible. So the animal is either etherized so that the animal faints and does not feel the pain.
But it is a living being, so doesn't it clash with your religious beliefs?
Sir, I think that, sir, even in my religion, if certain things are taken up for a higher motive to promote healthcare and other things, so then that is acceptable. We call that grihasth hinsa. That is acceptable.
Would you support extradition of Sheikh Hasina? If yes, why? If not, why?
So currently the extradition treaty that we have with the government of Bangladesh, it states that if Sheikh Hasina ma'am has done any criminal offence and that is proved by the courts, then in that cases we must extradite her. But up till now, nothing of the sort has been taken up by the court or proven. So sir, currently we should not extradite her because there are also chances of her being her facing public persecution and her being mob lynched or something violent may happen. So sir, in that cases we should let her stay in India for now.
But it is affecting our relations with Bangladesh adversely?
So in that sense, we have maintained, so we have the extradition treaty, and if the court of Bangladesh does prove that Sheikh Hasina should be extradited for her criminal offences, then in that cases we should abide by it.
What is Meerut famous for?
So for its sweets, as far as I know.
Anything else? What is the ODOP of Meerut? ODOP. You understand what is ODOP?
One district, one product.
What is ODOP of Meerut?
Sorry sir, I'm not aware. So I haven't lived in Meerut at all.
Is it?
Yes, sir. My dad migrated from Meerut to Delhi a long time ago.
Okay. But it is mentioned in your DAF.
Yes, my father is from Meerut. When he was a child, he lived in Meerut.
Sports city. It is known as the sports city. You have interest in Egyptian history.
Yes, sir.
What was the basic motive of building pyramids and material used in building them?
I would take up the second question first. So the pyramids were built using very large blocks of limestone weighing many tons. And so the motive, as for the motive, sir, speculations say that they were built to bury the pharaohs, serve as a burial place. But so currently no sarcophagi have been found in the pyramids. So we are still speculating as to what the pyramids might be built for.
Okay. But you said in answering a question that Indian civilization did not have anything comparable to pyramids.
Yes, some monumental structures. Some monumental structures.
Okay. You meant the size,
Yes, sir, size.
but quality wise?
So, sir, our urban structures, our urban planning, drainage, sewage systems, they were among the best in the world.
Planned city is recorded only in Indian civilization.
Yes.
The earliest traces. Okay. You've heard about UCC?
Yes, sir, I've heard about it.
Any 2 or 3 features which you think should have been avoided?
Sir, sorry, I didn't get the question.
In UCC, there are certain provisions which have been uniformly applied,
Yes, sir.
right? Any 2 or 3 provisions which you feel should not have been included.
So first of all would be with respect to tribals. So they have a very unique system of community living and religion.
But tribals have been excluded.
Sorry, sir, then I'm not aware.
Have you read about the UCC implemented by Uttarakhand?
Yes, I've read. Okay, sir, if I can say something. Sir, there was this thing about, sir, co-living, cohabitation arrangements, which require prior registration now. So, to some extent, it is good for the woman because it provides her a sense of security, but it might also lead to harassment. So, sir, those instances should be kept in check by the law.
You are interested in terrace gardening. How is it different from terrace farming?
So for terrace farming, we can lay beds or something on the garden. But for terrace gardening, I do those in pots, small pots on a very small scale. Terrace farming would be on a larger scale to generate a larger amount of output like fruits or flowers. But for
Where is it done? Terrace farming, where is it done? Can we do it in Delhi?
yes, sir, if we have the particular implements and setup, we can do it in Delhi. A lot of people do take that up.
Terrace farming.
Sorry, sir. Okay. I'm sorry, sir. I got a little bit confused. I'm really sorry. Sir, terrace gardening is done on mountain slopes. Terraces are cut and, that is done first of all to prevent erosion and, sir, runoff. Runoff is also prevented and to conserve the mountain slopes so that landslides, etc. do not take place.
Right. My final question to you regarding international affairs, right? How do you assess India's relations with immediate neighbors?
Sir, on the whole, we have very good relations with a lot of our neighbors because India follows the neighborhood first policy and the Act East policy. So, sir, on that front, we have very good relations. There are certain challenges with respect to Pakistan, China, and sir, we can also say Bangladesh currently because of the volatile situation. But sir, those, especially with Bangladesh, we can resolve those diplomatically.
Okay. Then why is it that on Republic Day parade, we have never invited any government head of the neighboring country.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware. Why not?
Okay, think it over. Thank you.
You mentioned about harassment in case a live-in relationship is registered. Can you tell me harassment from whom?
So from certain extremist elements in the society. So if it is an interfaith relationship, then certain cases of harassment have been reported.
Now, how would they come to know?
So
Registration is being done by a government department. How would they come to know?
Sir, they might have certain networks. Sir, even if registration is not done, in certain cases they do get to know about this harassment. So harassment does occur.
Even if registration is not done,
Yes, sir.
you're contradicting yourself. You're saying that registration will result in this, but you're saying even if registration is not done, they'll come to know. So it makes no difference whether you register or not. So it's better to register, isn't it? What do you say?
That is true, sir.
So, lastly, coming to this point about development schemes, the government has introduced a scheme called the Dhan Dhanya Yojana this time. Are you aware of that scheme?
Yes, sir. I've read up a little on it.
What is it?
Sir, the Dhan Dhanya scheme is for to promote a boost to the agriculture sector, provide a boost to that and to farmers. So it is going to promote agriculture very intensively and in a technologically sound manner in 100 agriculturally poor districts, which can contribute more.
It's modeled on something.
Okay, sir.
Modeled on the aspirational districts
Okay.
which were already there. Are you aware?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So we've come to the end of the interview. I'm sure you did well overall. I mean, have you taken any mock interviews before?
Yes, sir.
And what did they tell you?
Sir, so one of the reviews has been that my voice, so decibel is a bit low.
Extremely correct.
And sir, sometimes I do not take a pause before answering.
You're too fast. Yeah, both are correct. You continue to have the same problems, so that means you haven't worked on it.
Sir, I appeared in one mock right before this. Sir,
So all the more the reason why you should. All the more the reason why you should, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So anyway, your hand gestures also, you're holding on to your hands very tightly. So relax. You can use your hands once in a while. You can gesture, but not all the time. And keep changing your positions. You can smile a little bit. You don't smile at all. Composure is okay. Confidence is all right. Knowledge base, okay, but I think you need to read more about Egyptian history since you mentioned it. Mental alertness is very important. That's why I asked you what happened after 600 years of Roman rule. But you were able to come to the point, the Muslim invasions. Yes, that was what happened. That's how all the people in Egypt got converted to Islam. Yes. So they were among the first countries to be invaded by people from Arabia. So that's right. But about the earlier ones, you don't have to praise them to the skies vis-a-vis the IVC. And IVC is an abbreviation. Please don't use abbreviations. Indus Valley civilization was also a very good civilization. It was not just that the Egyptian civilization was, far better than the IVC, as you said. Okay, so don't have to compare and don't have to show that our civilization is inferior in any way. Lastly, I would only like to add that you were aware. I mean, the knowledge base is quite good about development schemes, about GST, but I think a certain amount of balance is required when talking about UCC, harassment. That contradiction part could have been avoided, because when you said something about harassment, and then you said I'll take it back at the end, which meant that what you said was not right. So that contradictory part, that's to be avoided. Yeah.
So, Garima, you have to compose your thoughts beforehand before you speak. So don't be in a hurry. We are not in a hurry. You also should not be in a hurry. So compose your thought, and after that you start speaking. Otherwise, what happens? You speak few words, then you realize, oh, I don't know. Then you say, sir, I don't know this. So that casts a very bad impression. Okay. And since you have put IPS as your second choice, so find out few. When is the interview?
So 26th March.
26. So there is a book called Madam Sir.
Okay, sir. I've heard of it, sir.
So in some library or somewhere, go through, just flip through, see whether there are any qualities which you can imbibe from the narration of what Manjari is the writer there, Manjari Jaruar. So you can improve there. There are other one or two, but time may be at premium. So just the best one, Manjari's book is there, Madam Sir. And it talks about her work in Bihar, originally from Bihar cadre, then Jharkhand, and then the government of India. She occupied very good positions. So besides courage, besides strength, there may be other qualities to be admired, like administrative qualities. Okay? Thank you. Yeah.
Garima, as you mentioned Meerut, you should be aware, right? And a very important project, RRTS, Delhi to Meerut. Whether you have gone there or not, because it has been mentioned, you should be aware, right? And I think you can work on some conceptual clarity. So that will be possible because you have sufficient time also. If you prepare a question bank based on your DAV details and important current events, awareness will automatically go up, right? The rest suggestions have been given, you have to just follow them. Okay, all the best.
Anything else you'd like to ask her?
So I will, so you have given me very good feedback. I will read up on the topics.
Yeah. Apart from reading up, I think all of us have emphasized one point, that you tend to speak fast.
Yes, sir.
And maybe sometimes without thinking about what you're going to say. I think that is something which you should really look at very closely, because once you've said something, then it's like an arrow which has been, fired. And once you fired an arrow, you can't take it back. So you say something like harassment, then you say something like the Egyptian civilization had great structures. And in comparison with IBC, which was an unnecessary comment. So those things could have been avoided. Those will remain in the mind of the interviewer, and it will bring down your marks drastically. Because one word or one sentence that hurts people, they never forget. Yeah. So don't hurt anybody. That's a lesson for the interview, also a lesson for life.
Yes, I will keep that.
Yeah. And if you can, I think you're wearing a clip or something. What are you wearing? Braces. But why is it yellow?
So actually, there is a rubber that keeps the brace in place. So that gets yellow when I consume food. So that is changed every month.
Oh, okay. But you can't do something about it before the interview, because when you smile, it doesn't look good.
Yes, sir.
So you got to do something before the interview.
So unfortunately,
You can get it removed for some time, 1 or 2 days.
Exactly.
so the entire brace will get removed then.
Interview is more important. You wasted spent 1 year on this.
So yes, sir.
चलो कोई नहीं, आप वो कोई ट्रीटमेंट होगा उसका ब्लीच करने का?
Sir, I can get the rubbers changed just before. Maybe I can do that. Yes, sir.
Something which is noticed, no?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, one question, if I can ask. Sir, there are certain topics like UCC. So those are very much in news. Of course, I will go and read up on them. But sir, if there are certain questions which I cannot answer at that moment, which might seem very obvious. So, sir, in that case, what should I do?
No, you can say, I need to read more about it. If you are not at all aware of the answer, then this is the best approach. If you are sure that you know 70-80%, then you can seek their permission. Say, may I take a guess? And then Whatever you know, you share that. Be brief in your answers so that you don't open new flanks. Otherwise, you attract more questioning on the same topic. Whereas it would be advisable to get a new set of questions. So be brief.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Right. All the best.